So we handed out a bunch of handouts. I do have more if you didn't get them. They're up here at the table, so feel free to pick them up. One of them is something we handed out at PAX East when we first presented this panel. It's just like an overview, has a checklist of different things and strategies that you'll need for breeding and getting ready to make a team. The other one is provided by Battle City Gym and Bob over here. It's a worksheet to get your thoughts organized for breeding. Alright, so this is the Pokemon X and Y Competitive Trainer Seminar here at EternalCon 2014. Everybody having a good time today?
Yeah.
Woo! It's really cool. I hope everybody likes the new venue. This is like a crazy place to be for this. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
Alright, so my name is Debbie Glusband and this is my fiance, Jeff Weinstein. We're the co-founders of StreetPass Long Island. We're a local meetup group for Long Island and we specialize in the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U games. I've been playing Pokemon since Pokemon Red.
And I'm a shiny hunter, and I'm proud to say I have right now 10 full boxes of shiny Pokemon. And my favorite Kalos region Pokemon is Furfrou.
Hello everyone, my name's Jeff Kappenberg. I'm a mega member at StreetPass Long Island. I was a regular member and then I mega evolved. I'm also part of the admin team of StreetPass NYC. If you're ever in New York City, you can check us out. Yep. And as of about a week from today, I will have been a Pokemon fan for 15 straight years.
Nice.
Hi, my name is Dan DeFeo. I'm a member of StreetPass Long Island, and I am the tournament champion as so far, and it's not broken yet. I've been playing since 2006, and I've been in many tournaments, including the New York City Nintendo World Battle Plaza, as well as the 2008 VGCs.
Nice.
Hi, my name is Bob Morali. I am the Long Island Premier Tournament Organizer for the Pokemon Company. I am basically an IV breeder. I run the Battle City Gym League out in West Babylon, and I judge and run all kinds of fun stuff for everybody.
Nice. Alright, and just to give you a little more information about StreetPass Long Island, like I said, we have meetup events at least once a month. We also have a lot of Wi-Fi options. There's Mario Kart 8 Wi-Fi tournaments every week. We also have some Mario Golf tournaments going. So even if you're not local to the area where a meetup event is, you can still participate either online or in these Wi-Fi tournaments.
It's important to keep in mind, we're an unofficial fan group. We're not associated with Nintendo or any of the subsidiaries. We voluntarily do this to help out the video game community. Also, just a heads up, next Sunday, June 22nd, we're having a very special event at Tiki Action Park in Centereach. We're doing a real-life Grand Prix to promote Mario Kart 8.
We have Mario Kart go-kart event. We're going to ride real go-karts. We'll come in cosplay. We're going to have some hats available. So next Sunday, 6 o'clock, Tiki Action Park in Centereach.
So it's in the evening, right?
Yeah, in the evening. And we're also doing a rare Pokemon giveaway to all you guys who came today. Yay!
This rare Pokeball pattern Vivian. It was given out as an exclusive French event in France. I got my hands on one, and I'm giving out 50 of them to the first 50 of you who meet us. We're going to be waiting by the Blue Angel outside of this panel room at the end of the panel. Just come by and claim your Vivian.
And Bob, do you want to just tell us a little bit about Battle City?
Battle City Gym. We started back in 2010. We've been running tournaments, and we run the Pokemon League and Pokemon tournaments every weekend. Leagues are normally Saturdays. Tournaments, which are TCG and VGC, we run on Sundays. We also run a lot of the premier events for the Pokemon Company, city championships. Another one used to be Battle Roads. League challenges, VG challenges, pre-releases, plus, you know, they take good care of us and we take good care of them, so we take care of everyone.
Yep. Very cool. So should we do
before we get into the meat and potatoes, this is Derek. He's our Nintendo rep from Long Island, and he's going to ask periodic Pokemon trivia throughout this panel and give away really cool Pokemon-related prizes to you guys.
Yes,
so, Derek, first question.
Yeah, all right. So let's get it started. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna need you to raise your hand. Don't call it out, please.
All right.
And first person to get it correctly, we'll start giving out some prizes. Yeah. All right. So how does Eevee evolve into Sylveon? You.
you have to get it to 3 hearts in the Pokemon MA and then level it up.
Close. I know is you have to like keep your Eevee have fairy type moves while you also do Pokemon Meet to increase your friendship.
It's one specific thing. You guys are close.
It has to be in the Pokemon Me. It has to have 1 fairy type move, and then you level it up.
And what?
And then you have to level it up.
Pick a little girl.
So cool.
It has to have at least 3 hearts in Pokemon V with a section. Has
No.
to have a fairy type.
You have to level it up, knowing a fairy type move and having 3 hearts in Pokemon and me.
Correct.
Yes. At least 2. Yep.
We have enough prizes for everybody, don't worry. So it's 2 hearts, okay. So what we wanted to do today, we want to talk about Pokemon X and Y specifically because X and Y is a breakthrough game. You have a lot more options to help you with your EV and IV training. So personally, I was never really a competitive battler until this game came out because I didn't know how to do the proper training and breeding. But with this new game, it's so much more easy to see what you're doing and it's much more transparent, so even casual players can get competitive. So we wanted to, explain to you guys how you can really get into the competitive mode. But first, you need to learn about how to read your stats.
Yep. Is everybody familiar with this screen? This
Yep.
Pokemon summary screen?
Yeah.
I'm just going to go over it real quick. On the left side, you have your 6 attack stats. The values in the summary screen, it's important to keep in mind, those are the stats of this particular Pokemon. That's different from the base stats of the species. You should always do your breeding and training and whatnot based on the base stats of that Pokemon, and you could look up base stats in any Pokemon resource such as Cerebi online. Every Pokemon has a nature. In this case, this Furfru's nature is impish. There's also other natures such as Adamant, which boosts attack 10% and lowers special attack 10%. There's also neutral type natures, which do not affect the stats 10% in either direction as it evolves and levels up. Pokemon also have abilities. In this case, this Furfru has Fur Coat ability. There's also other abilities such as Intimidate, which lowers the opponent's Pokemon's attack stat, and also Levitate, which gives Pokemon immunity to ground type moves. There's also various symbols right under that Pokemon's type. That red star indicates that this is in fact a shiny Pokemon. The pink smiley face indicates that this Pokemon at one point was infected with Pokerus. And finally, the blue pentagon symbol signifies that this Pokemon is born in the Kalos region. Let's go through the basics of Pokemon battles. Stab is a concept called same type attack bonus. That means, quite simply, if you use a dark type move from a dark type Pokemon, you get a 1.5 times increase in the power of that move that was used. Different types of moves have, there's different status conditions. You can have sleep, poison, paralysis, confusion, burn, and other status conditions such as love, even. Infatuation, and confusion.
Yeah.
There's also held items that play a very significant role both in battle, and some of them even have effects outside of battle in the overworld. Also new to X and Y are Mega Evolution. I'm sure you guys love those. They have awesome effects in battle. Awesome. There's different types of battles. You have singles, doubles, triples, rotation, and multi. And each of these types of battles can have 3 possible rule sets: normal, flat, or no restrictions.
Okay, so do some breeding, it's not gross.
It's a children's game, appropriate for all.
But before we get into that, we want to do another trivia question.
All right, here we go. All right, so everyone raise your hands if you know it. Which Pokemon can breed with almost every Pokemon? All in the back. Yes.
All right, so I have my Pokemon, I'm looking at its stats, and it's just not good enough. So the Pokemon I catch in the wild usually isn't the one I'm going to be battling with, basically.
Exactly.
Alright, so I take the Pokemon that I do have, and I have to breed it. Alright, so tell me what I'm supposed to do with that.
Okay, we have a couple of definitions. Are you guys familiar with IVs?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I'll tell everybody what IVs are. IV stands for individual value. And it's confusing because IVs are hidden for the Pokemon. It's a hidden value used to determine a Pokemon's potential to be competitive in any one of his stats. So for all 6 of a Pokemon's base stats, they can have a value of either between 0 and 31 as their IV value. IVs play a significant role as your Pokemon is leveling up. When your Pokemon finally reaches level 100, the total value of its IV for each stat gets added to that stat. So for example, if you have a Pikachu with 31 IV in HP, and you have another Pikachu with 0 IV in HP, assuming they're the same nature and they were trained the same way, the Pikachu with 31 HP, when it reaches level 100, will have a stat of HP that's 31 higher than a Pikachu with 0 IV in its HP stat. When you're breeding, you also may want to breed for an egg move. An egg move is quite simply any move that the Pokemon can only learn by breeding, and it's usually as a result of breeding with a different species of the same egg group. Egg group is quite simply a category of Pokemon that can breed with each other. Manectric, for instance, is a field-type egg group, so it can breed with other field-type egg groups such as Houndoom, but it can't breed with Seaking because Seaking is a water egg group. There's also some surprises.
No.
At first glance, this may not make sense how a Wailord can breed with a little Skitty, but if you examine their egg groups, Wailord and Skitty are both field egg group. Although Wailord is water type 2 and Skitty is fairy as well, since they both share the field egg group, they're able to breed with each other. Now, Bob's a
Wait,
master.
let's do another trivia question first.
Good idea.
Before we didn't get them details of breeding, which is very detailed, let's do one quick trivia question.
All right, so hands up. If we only get people that haven't answered yet, this way we can try and get as many people to win something as possible. Which 2 Pokemon have 2 Mega Evolutions?
That would be Charizard and Mewtwo.
Yes, you got it. Good job.
Okay, so Bob, why should we breed in the first place?
Well, you want to get your IVs in the right spots. There are several different ways to IV breed. I'm going to take you through one of the simplest ones. If you want to learn the advanced ones, you can talk to me after the seminar. A couple things you're going to need for breeding, okay? You're going to need a Destiny Knot. Destiny Knot you can actually get from a maid in a hotel or the beauty in the alley in Luminous City, right? Second item you're going to also need is Everstone, okay? What Everstone does is it allows you to carry over the nature from the Pokemon that you're breeding. So if you have something with adamant nature and another one with Jolly, right? Let's say you want to breed with the Jolly one but not the adamant, you're going to put your Everstone onto that Pokemon. This way it breeds it over. All right? A couple other options that you can do is you could also have an Oval Charm. You get the Oval Charm when you complete the Kalos Pokédex. This actually cuts the steps down to breed that egg. So instead of riding around on your bicycle waiting for that egg, it actually cuts that down in half. So the eggs actually come out of the daycare a lot faster. And, all right. O-Powers. O-Powers also help breeding that egg. All right, a couple things to keep notes of. All right.
Make sure you have the ability and or egg moves you want.
Exactly. Before you start your breeding, figure out what you want on that Pokemon. You want to know what natures, what abilities. All right. catch the Pokemon that you need with those items first. All right, then you can actually start your breeding. Best place to grab those Pokemon are in Friend Safari. So make sure you exchange friend codes with all your friends to get those Friend Safaris that have those special Pokemon. In the Friend Safari, you end up getting Pokemon with IV stats in 2, 3, and possibly 4. So let's say I want to do a pincer. I'm going to go to the Friend Safari. Thank you. All right. I'm going to catch as many pincers as I can in male and female and check their IV stats with the IV judge. All right.
Friend Safaris includes city, by the way.
Yes, it is. Did they move it? No. Oh, okay. All right. Another good thing to keep track of is having a Pokemon in your party that has Fly with Flame Armor, Flame Body. That's the second time I screwed that up. All right? Or another Pokemon that has Magma Armor. Okay? This cuts down hatching that egg. Okay? So if it takes 1,000 steps to hatch an egg, now it's only going to take about 500. Okay? And you can stack it with the O power, which will even knock that down faster. So you could be popping those eggs out left and right.
1/3 at a time.
Yeah, something like that. All right.
All right, step 1.
All right. Step 1: figure out what you're going to need. You know, figure out what Pokemon you're going to be breeding. Like right now, I'm breeding a Pinsir. So I went to the Friend Safari. I grabbed a whole bunch. I'm sorry. I caught a whole bunch of males and a whole bunch of females. Okay. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build it with adamant and mold breakers. So I went and I caught as many as possible and figure out what the IVs are. So before I put them into the daycare, I'm going to attach the Everstone on the one with the nature that I want, which is the adamant nature, and the Destiny Knot on the other Pokemon. I don't know if did I miss it? Destiny Knot will grab 5 random IVs from both parents and actually put it onto that egg. Okay, that 6th IV will be completely random by the system. All right. So the 2 Pokemon should be either from the same species or from the same egg groups. Okay. Any Pokemon can breed with Ditto as long as it's not genderless or legendary. All right, so look at the screen. We drop it off at the daycare in Route 7. Jump on that bicycle and zip back and forth until the daycare man actually turns around and faces you. He will have her egg ready for you. So you're going to grab that egg, jump back on that bicycle, either run back and forth or fly to Luminous City and go around the
Prism Tower.
Prism Tower. Go around the Prism Tower until that egg hatches. All right. Once it does hatch, now you're going to go check those IVs. So you're going to go see the IV judge, which is in what city again?
Killoo.
City.
I can never say
You only
that.
get to it after you beat the game, so make sure you beat the game, the main story.
Beat the Elite Four.
All right. In Killoo City, you're going to go see the IV judge. He's in the Pokemon Center on the left side.
He's that
So,
guy with the hair.
That guy right there. Purple hair. All right. He's going to tell you about your IVs. If your IVs are perfect, okay. I'm sorry. Let me step back. He's going to say which are your good IVs. Okay. So he might say, okay, your good stats are HP, attack, special attack. That last phrase he says, if he says they can't be beat, that indicates that those that he listed are 100% perfect. They are 31 in those stats. If he says something like defense is dismal or you're not going to get very far with attack, those are going to be perfectly 0.
And guys, it's important to keep in mind that a 0 IV isn't necessarily bad. Lots of people will breed a slow Pokemon that they want for a Trick Room team, for instance. They'll breed that with a nature that lowers their speed 10%, and then also breed for a 0 IV, so you have an extremely slow Pokemon that once Trick Room is in play, that Pokemon is going to go first because it's the slowest.
And it's a
So it's
powerful
not necessarily
Dragon Ball,
bad.
too.
What's good practice after you check with the IV judge and he says these are good stats, they can't be beat, go over to your computer, pull it up, and actually if you know where you deposit the Pokemon, it says markings. I don't know if anyone uses markings. Okay, there are actually 6 markings. You know, heart, diamond, clover, whatever.
Yeah.
It's good practice. The professionals do it all the time. If you know your stats in 31, highlight those markings. Okay, from left to right, you know, it's HP, attack, defense, special defense, and speed. So if he says it's good in HP and speed, highlight those markings before you put it into the box or save it. Okay. This way, later on, if you need to reference a Pokemon with good IVs, that's where you won't have to keep going to the judge all the time.
And both your boxes local to your game and up in Pokemon Bank will display your markings. So as you're scrolling through, you can very easily see your Pokemon that have good IVs, assuming that you mark them that way.
All right. So you get your good Pokemons. Just sit there, just keep breeding those eggs until the IVs start to fall into place. Each time you get one that has more IVs than the one that's in the daycare, you're going to take the other one out of the daycare, transfer over the health item, which is either the Everstone or Destiny Knot, and then put the other one in with that has higher on the IV stats, and just keep breeding. Eventually, you're going to end up with a 5 IV in the stats that you want, or even a 6 IV.
Yeah,
Just keep in mind that it's even though you're able to manipulate it, it's a random process, and you're not going to get the perfect Pokemon that you're looking for in the first egg. It almost never happens. Just stick with it, be persistent, and eventually you will get the Pokemon that you're looking for.
So yeah, just keep doing it, rinse and repeat, and then you'll eventually get there. All right, so kind of understand what's going on with breeding now, but I think it's time for a trivia question.
All right. Guys ready?
Yep.
All right, so according to the National Pokedex, Pikachu is number what? Someone that didn't win yet. Orange.
24.
Yeah, close.
25.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right, so we've been breeding Pokemon. I know I've got some good IVs now. Does that mean I'm ready to battle?
No.
No,
You
not
still
even
have
close.
EVs. You still have to worry about EVs.
So now I have a good baby, and now I need to raise this baby Pokemon into an awesome battler. So how do we do that?
EVs.
EVs?
EV training.
Like that?
Not EV the Pokemon.
Value.
Effort.
EV stands for effort values, and effort values is a way to further customize and optimize your Pokemon stats based on how you're looking to use it in battle. It's important to keep in mind that out in the wild, whenever you encounter a Pokemon, if you knock out that Pokemon, it will yield a specific amount of EVs in a specific stat based on the species of that Pokemon. So for example, Geodude yields defense EVs. Specifically, it yields 1 defensive EV for every single Geodude that you KO in the wild. You could look up the exact yield for each Pokemon on Pokemon resource sites such as Cerebi. Every EV point, for every 4 EV points that you apply to a Pokemon, when that Pokemon reaches level 100, it'll equate to a +1 increase in that stat for every 4 EV that are applied. You can apply a maximum of 510 EV points total per Pokemon with a maximum of 252 EV per stat. It essentially lets you customize your Pokemon even further, powering up specific stats the way you want it to have, the way you want it to be. Now, Jeffrey will discuss exactly how to EV train.
All right, so let's say you want a Pokemon that's maxed out in defense, 252 effort values in defense. You might be thinking, okay, do I literally have to go out and battle 252 Geodudes in a row just to get my defense maxed out? Well, thankfully the answer is no. There's a number of tools of the trade that you can use to speed up your EV training exponentially. The first are the power items. You can receive these from the Battle Mason in Kalude City, however you pronounce that, using your battle points. There's 1 for each stat. And when it's equipped, that Pokemon will receive 4 additional effort value points in that stat every time they beat a Pokemon. So if you have the one that boosts defense, that means you're getting 5 effort values every time you beat that Geodude. There's also the Macho Brace. This is kind of similar. It simply doubles the amount of effort values you get from a Pokemon in battle, so you get 2 effort values. Not as much, but you only need 1 Macho Brace, whereas you're going to need the full set of 6 power items, which can get expensive and time-consuming.
96 PP.
Early, we briefly mentioned the
Pokemon.
This is a virus that your Pokemon can catch, and it is the best virus ever because it doubles the amount of effort values you get, and it stacks with the 2 items you saw above. The Pokemon can spread the Poké-Rust to other Pokemon in your party for the first 24 hours. After that, it goes away, unless the Pokemon is in a PC box, in which case the Poké-Rust can be spread indefinitely. So keep at least 1 Poké-Rust Pokemon in your PC box at all times. Finally, there's the Experience Share, which was given a major buff in this generation. It now spreads experience points to every Pokemon in your party automatically, but it also spreads 100% of the effort values that you got from the Pokemon you defeated. It does not pass on the benefits of the power items or the Macho Brace, but if the Pokemon it's being spread to has Poké-Rust, it'll still double that. So that's a huge help. And the other big addition is Horde training. In the past, players would find areas where only like 1 specific Pokemon would hang out, like a cave that only has Zubats, and they'd train there over and over again to get, in this case, speed for Zubat. Thankfully now we have another alternative, which is Horde training, where you will encounter 5 of usually 1 species of Pokemon at a time, which means 5 times the EVs at once. You can look online to find out where the specific ones are that are most helpful to you. One example is the Connecting Cave has Whismur, those will give you HP. In order to do this, you're going to want a Pokemon with Sweet Scent or the item Honey. What these do is they guarantee that you're going to encounter a Horde when you use them. I strongly recommend you get your hands on a Tropius because not only does it have Sweet Scent, it also knows Fly, as well as a couple other HM moves. I also recommend you carry a Pokemon that has Earthquake or Surf because that allows you to knock out all 5 of the Pokemon at once. Before we move on, just a couple more tips. This is kind of mathematical and complicated, so I'll try to make it simple. Basically, the effort values aren't fully expressed accurately until you're at level 100, so there's another rule you should follow at level 50 when you're EV training. Sorry. First of all, you want your IV to be an odd number, which is easy because 31 is the max and that's odd. Second of all, you want the number of effort values you have in a stat to be odd after you've divided that number by 4, which incidentally means that 252 in a stat is totally okay. Finally, there's the issue of what do you do if you mess up your EV training? You get stats you don't want. Well, there's a couple options. There are special berries, one for each of the 6 stats that you can use that will reduce your effort values. If your effort values are over 100, it'll reduce it straight down to 100. If it's less than 100 or equal to 100, it'll reduce it by 10 for each berry you consume. So you can do that incrementally. Or when you're doing super training, which we'll get into in just a little bit, you can earn an item called the Reset Bag, which will just wipe the slate totally clean. Your Pokemon will start at the beginning again with 0 and everything. So speaking of super training,
And there's also the berry juice, right? That also
that's right. Yes, there's an item called there's berry
you
juice
have to
you can
do
get
a lot
from
of
Lugia
harvesting
City.
of berries to get the rare
Yeah.
berries to pull that one off. So all that stuff he just said was really great, but how many people like super training?
Yep.
I like super training because you don't have to do math, you don't have to like super training. I like to start on level 2 and just bang it out until I can complete level 3, and it doesn't really take that long. And I just like how you have your chart here that shows exactly how many EVs you have, where they're going, and how far along in your EV training process you are. And you can also see your whole party down there at the bottom.
That's great for breeding because you can see how many eggs you have in your party
Yeah.
while you're breeding in real time, so you don't have to check back and forth to your party.
So I think super training is a great option if you don't like horde training or you don't want to worry about math. That's just me. All right, so before we get into making the team, let's see if Derek has another trivia question.
Alright, I've got another one.
Stump you guys.
Alright. So, you guys
Hoopers don't
can.
have hands.
Huh?
Hoopers don't have hands. What are you doing?
Mega Whooper!
Just my question too. No prizes for you. Alright.
Pokemon
Oh wait, just kidding.
All right, first arm up. What are the exact names of the upcoming Pokemon games coming out November 21st?
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Actually, no.
All right, so now we know how to make our Pokemon, we know how to breed the Pokemon, we know how to train the Pokemon. Now we still need to learn how to make a team that will actually be competitive.
And this is the fun stuff, guys.
This is the fun stuff.
fun stuff.
All right. All right, team building process. Now that you know how to create an ideal Pokemon, let's work on choosing the Pokemon to create for your team. Now this is very, very important because team composition is a big factor in your victory. Just like a sports team, you may be the best tactical coach, but if your players don't have the skills, they aren't going to be able to execute any of your plays. Now you want to pick a base Pokemon lead. He's pretty much the quarterback of your teams, the linchpin of your strategy, and you also want to pick an appropriate partner with that. He's someone whose synergy is great with him. And yes, synergy, which we'll get to. And he has to supplement the lead. He protects them, he works hand in hand with them. And then after that, you want to pick a third Pokemon that can address the weaknesses of the leads or his vulnerabilities. Now you want to consider type weaknesses. Is this Pokemon weak to this one? Well, you want to have a partner to that. Synergy. And it's the best to work in a triangle formation, say fire, water, grass. They all complement each other. And after the third one, you want to pick a fourth and fifth Pokemon to add diversity to the team. You want to also consider alternate leads or missing functionality, which synergy comes into play. And you also want to pick a sixth Pokemon based on special utility, be it like a cleric, someone who heals your team with various moves like Wish or Aromatherapy, someone that disrupts the game, like using Thunder Wave, which paralyzes Pokemon, maybe they're another tank, or someone that works on utility. Alright, now the best way to learn is to go through the general mindset of the team building process. You want to keep in mind the good stuff, which is a balanced team, and of course this is a relatively subjective process. So many people have different processes of doing this, and it's also, in this one that we're about to go over, is tailored to double battles, which is a battle format, but the same type of mindset carries over to single battles as well.
Let's put our money where our mouth is.
So we're gonna make a Magikarp team?
Oh, yeah.
Has anyone ever used Magikarp in battle? No.
Yes.
We're all crazy.
But Magikarp does, however, turn into one of my personal favorite Pokemon, and yes, that would be Gyarados. Gyarados is a Pokemon that has the ability Intimidate, which lowers the attack of opposing Pokemon. Dragon Dance can boost his stats, and he's got other great moves that complement him as well. He works off a high attack stat, and he's got bulky special defense, and he can boost himself up with his stats. And his weaknesses are, he's not that strong in the defensive department, and he's also 4 times weak against Electric. However, as I said earlier, you want to complement your first Pokemon. So we're going to pick his partner, and with the Pokemon that we...
Pikachu.
Raichu. And his ability, Lightning Rod, absorbs incoming electric moves. So when you have any scary electric attacks that might kill the Gyarados, you have Raichu to come in and absorb that hit. He also can encore certain moves and keep people stuck using certain moves while you trample all over them. His strengths lie in protecting his partner, and he has great disruption support with the moves Encore and Fake Out. He is weak though, so Focus Sash is an item you might want to give him, which prevents him from being knocked out at full health. Alright, we want to pick our third Pokemon to supplement our lead. Now, I'm going to go with Ferrothorn, because he is just bulky, he's a wall. He's able to take those attacks that Gyarados and Raichu cannot take. Now, he's, as we spoke earlier, his move Gyro Ball, which when he's slower, makes the move go more damage against higher Pokemon. So therefore, a 0 IV in the speed department, as we were discussing earlier, might help instead of a 31. His strength lies in his insane bulk from taking hits, and he also gives a lot of chip damage from when he's hit. He actually does damage. He's slow, and he's also 4 times weak to fire, but that's what we have Gyarados to complement him with his fire weakness. Alright, now we want to add more options to our team, and for our fourth Pokemon, we are going to go with Hydreigon. Hydreigon, one of my also personal favorites, is a Dark Dragon type. and he's got just straight up attacking moves like Dragon Pulse, Dark Pulse, and Flamethrower, which add a lot of coverage, and his strengths lie in those moves and also his immunity to ground and psychic type moves. He's weak to fairy, and although he's vulnerable to priority fighting types, as I said earlier, we are working with a team and everyone has to complement each other. So we're adding even more options now with our 5th type, and our 5th Pokemon is going to be Talonflame. Talonflame helps his team by using Tailwind, which boosts the speed of his allies, and he's also able to fire off these nuclear bomb Brave Birds because of his ability Gale Wings, which makes flying type moves priority and go above other moves. His strengths lie in that, with this pretty much hitting like a nuclear bomb. He's a glass cannon, but his weaknesses are that he is very, very frail. But that's what he's a cleanup crew of sorts. He comes in late game. So now we want to make our 6th Pokemon. We covered most just damaging attacks. We also want to disrupt things a little bit with our 6th Pokemon, which would be Meowstic. Now the male one gets an ability called Prankster, which means he's able to use these status moves before any other attacks. For instance, his Thunder Wave can go first, paralyzing the guy before he can even move, and maybe not be able to even attack. His strengths lie in his support and his disruption moves, and also to buff other Pokemon with Swagger while he has Safeguard up. But he is weak in the offensive department, but that's why he's mainly used as support. Alright, now our final team lies with Gyarados, who's our physical sweeper. We have Raichu as a support specialist, our Ferrothorn, which is our tank, special sweeper Hydreigon, Talonflame, our offensive specialist, and our male Meowstic, who's the disruption support. Alright, so we have some great strategy examples, which would be weather effects. Sun, rain, hail, sand, they all play an effect in battle where Pokemon's abilities help them a lot. Trick Room, as we mentioned earlier, is where slower Pokemon go first. And that picture right there, if that Trick Room is in effect, that little Gligar goes first before that monstrous Palkia, so you can throw a lot of people off balance with that. Gravity is another one of those moves, which removes flying, so you can hit birds with earthquakes, and also makes your moves a little bit more accurate. And Perish Song is another great double battle move, which is used by the Gengar, which essentially puts Pokemon in battle on a 3-turn timer where they can faint. So instead of them standing up Dragon Dances, you stop them in their tracks because they are forced to switch.
And guys, another thing to keep in mind, with Perish Song from a Gengar, if you go Mega with that Gengar, he picks up Shadow Tag ability, which prevents, in most cases, many Pokemon from escaping the battle and escaping the Perish Song. With Shadow Tag, only Ghost types and other Shadow Tag Pokemon are able to escape. So that's awesome. It's a really cool strategy.
So it's also known in the competitive scene as Perish Trapping. Perish Song, Shadow Tag, Trap, and they're stuck there.
And Gengar, Mega Gengar, is one of the only Pokemon who has that combination of Shadow Tag with Perish Song. Just Perish Song is an egg move.
Alright. Some great examples of the leads that we're going to use in the double battle scenario would be Mega Charizard and Venusaur. His Drought ability activates the Venusaur's Chlorophyll ability, which makes him faster. Venusaur can stop him with Sleep Powder, while Charizard can just hammer down these super powerful attacks. And bear in mind, Solar Beam works first in a double battle. Not by first, I'm saying it doesn't have to charge. Since Sun is in effect, it fires right off the bat. Another example would be Amoonguss and Chandelure. Amoonguss has an ability, a move called Rage Powder, which draws all moves to him. Being that Chandelure is he's a fire type, and if a water move would be incoming, that Amoonguss will take it, while the Chandelure will be safe to set up the Trick Room and make his team go first.
Rage Powder is also a priority move. So much like Gale Wing's ability makes flying type moves go first, Rage Powder, when you hit Rage Powder, in most cases that'll go first before anybody else, so you can really protect Chandelure.
Another quick example would be Exploud and Noivern. They complement each other because this move Boom Burst hits everyone on the field. Now they can use them simultaneously, but they won't hit each other because Exploud is immune to that move, being that he's soundproof, and Noivern has telepathy, and that means friendly attacks won't hit them. some team building tips we want to go over.
Well, let's do a trivia question.
Take a little break first.
There's a lot to absorb. Let's all think about
There's
that
a
for
lot
a
to take
second.
in. All right, anyone who hasn't answered yet, this is a tough one, all right? Which Pokemon's name is based on an ancient Greek oracle whose temple was destroyed?
I know this, but I already thought so.
No? Yes, you got it. Did you know it?
Delphox, based on the Oracle of Delphi.
Did you know that? Chiron?
Good job.
Good job.
So we just want to go over a couple of last minute tips here.
Synergy.
Synergy. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
It means they're having synchronous energy or
It means
something
two
like
Pokemon
that.
that in doubles work hand in hand with each other. So,
They cover each other's weaknesses. They support each other like
greater
they
than
were
the sum
made
of their
together.
parts. Yeah.
Yin and yang.
and in many cases, it'll be the abilities and moves of each Pokemon on your team working well with each other, such as Charizard Y, Mega Charizard Y's Drought ability with Venusaur's Chlorophyll. They work together.
You also want to pick a problem for your team and solve it, like type coverage. Is your team drastically weak to a certain type, like ice or fire? You want to pick someone who can block that out, like a steel type who would block out ice, or someone who can absorb fire moves with flash fire ability. Or maybe even status effects could be a problem for you as well. You also want to consider your phases of play, like the mid, early, and late game of the match. Do you want to send out your strongest guy in the beginning, when he could be cleaning up at the end? No problem for you. You want to pick and choose your battles. And you always want to have your options when doing so. You want to consider multiple lead alternatives. In a Pokemon battle, typically you show 6 and pick 4. You always want to have your 5th and 6th guy to be alternates in case your enemy's team can trample your current setup that you have.
Learn lessons. This is a big part of moving forward with the metagame. You basically, if you get beat, you want to figure out why you lost, and you want to try to improve your team. Also, if you lose, it's not the end of the world. As a matter of fact, all top-level players, they only win about 60 to 80% of their matches. The rest of the time, they're encountering strategies they've never seen before, or battling much stronger trainers. And when they lose, they're never sore losers. You think about what made you lose and try to improve upon that.
Right, you always want to better yourself. Each and everything in Pokemon can be countered. There is no correct or wrong strategy. You want to pick something that works for you. And by going out and battling with other people, you want to be the best you could possibly be.
The very best.
Yes,
Like
you want
no
to be
one ever was.
like Ash Ketchum in the show. You're going out, you're constantly.
Maybe not like Ash.
Or say like Goku. Anyone where people just are going out and trying to bettering themselves. You're learning, you're having fun. Even if you lose, it's always about sportsmanship as well.
And also, if your circle of friends, if you're the best Pokemon trainer in your circle of friends, go online, try to find a different community and find stronger trainers to battle, because that can only help your own game. You're going to get bored if you keep on winning, or
The best
you
way to
don't have
learn
time
is to
to
lose.
opponents.
If you lose, you're gonna learn, oh, I did this wrong. Oh, I shouldn't have relied on that Pokemon. Maybe I had bad luck. So you want to lose so you can learn how to adapt and how to better yourself.
learn to enjoy it. You're going
And
to lose a lot.
The best way to
and
do this is to join groups like StreetPass Long Island, Battle City Gym. You can go on Facebook. There's tons of different Pokemon X and Y groups, breeding groups. What's
Garden
that?
City Gym.
Garden City
Yeah.
Gym. Okay, I hadn't heard of that one, but awesome.
And don't be shy. Go out in the community, and if you find a stronger trainer, most people in the community are really cool, and they'll help you out. They may even offer to help coach your team and suggest new moves or suggest a different held item. Because held items specifically, they could swing the course of the match in either direction, depending on whether you have correct held items for your strategy.
Right.
So,
Right. Pokemon is essentially, it's still a kid's game, but there's a lot of hidden things in the game that really make it competitive. It's like rock, paper, scissors meets chess. And it has this friendly guise of Pokemon. I've never met a mean Pokemon player in my life playing. You will always be out there and finding more and more players, and they will always be willing to help you.
and finally, keep keep on top of the news, the latest news in the Pokemon community. Every once in a while, they're releasing new hidden ability Pokemon, which a new hidden ability in the game could possibly change the way people play it.
The game is constantly growing and evolving with each generation that comes out, and there's new strategies being designed every day. The list of these websites here have their own forums where people go on and just talk and discuss the latest greatest, and not just battling, their favorites. The game is about fun.
And in conclusion, get creative. There's no one perfect strategy. Even when you're referencing those resource sites, they're going to give you suggestions that you could start at, but everybody has their own style, everybody has their own favorite Pokemon, and it gives you an opportunity to get out there and get creative and come up with your own strategies that work well for your style of play.
All right, I think that's pretty much it. I know we have to start getting out of here so the next group can come in. But we do have more handouts. If you didn't get a handout, we have them here at the front. This slideshow is going to be on the StreetPass Long Island website. If you want to take a look at it and study it or whatever, go to spli.org for that. And thanks everybody for coming today. And like we said, we're going to do the Vivian Pokemon giveaway right outside here in that open space. So just come
And if
get
you have
us,
any
just
additional questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for coming, guys.
Really just the athletic